We are live. How's it going? I'm making sure that this is public on my Facebook page. Not sure. Oh, there we go. This is, oh yeah. There, it's working. Public. Okay, so, if anybody knows how to change the settings on my Facebook page, my personal one at least, to make it so this goes public instead of being visible to only me, that would be awesome. I know it seems to be working fine on my business page, but on the personal page, it comes up and it says, yeah, only me. And okay, that's all well and good, but would like to get some people involved here. So yeah, go to chatrestream.io, Facebook. If you're watching on Facebook, connect your account. That way I can see who you are in the comments. If you want to pop up in the chat, which, I'm actually going to check this time. But so welcome to MK Monday. That's what I like to call it. Why? Because I thought it'd be fun. It's a catchy name, but I figured, you know what? Why not talk today a bit about hypnosis and what is hypnosis? Is it mind control? All of that, and I would say yes, but not the way that you think of it. It's a way of taking control of our own mind and getting what we want. Now, we need to ask ourselves, okay, what's the definition of hypnosis here? And there is a lot of different ones. So I'm going to be referencing the Wikipedia page for some of this and kind of going through and expanding on some of the things they say. Down in their definition page, this is funny. Somebody, Michael Nash, provides a list of 8 definitions of hypnosis by different authors, in addition to his own view that hypnosis is a special case of psychological regression. And in this case, the definition of regression that's linked to is Freud's definition that it's a defense mechanism leading to the temporary or long-term reversion of the ego to an earlier stage of development rather than handling unacceptable impulses more adaptively. All right. But, Michael Nash here in the Wikipedia article has a list of 8 different definitions of hypnosis by different authors. One, there's no citation on this. There's no link to the guy. I don't know who this is, but apparently it's someone named Edmonston. So if you know who this Edmonston is, drop a message in the chat and let me know, because that guy is a fucking idiot. He has assessed, this is all like the only line in there, he's assessed hypnosis as being merely a state of relaxation. Hypnosis is absolutely not relaxation. Relaxation is a byproduct of hypnosis, but it is definitely not relaxation on its own. Now, a lot of times I'll do this. I'll say, okay, and relax and focus on relaxation. And that's because, to me, hypnosis is a state of focus, heightened focus, and suggestibility. And in order to get there, one of the things that we do to focus attention is focus on something that feels good, relaxation. Okay, it's easy to focus and imagine that, because I mean that's what hypnosis is. It's focus and imagination, and then we bring the feelings up in the body, because the subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imaginary. It gives you what you ask for. So you're like, okay, what's a feeling of relaxation? It can bring it up. And with hypnosis, because we are focusing attention on something, and it's easy to focus attention on relaxation, we'll get that. So I mean, to me, that's why I say, relax or something. But hypnosis is not relaxation. Relaxation is a byproduct, and it can be used on something to focus on to guide you into trance. Now there are other theories, definitions of it. We'll go back to, but I mean, basically, what we have is if you're in hypnosis, you have focused attention and increased suggestibility. And that is not to say gullibility. That is completely different. But what you experience is reduced peripheral awareness, because you're focused on one thing. And in those cases, say, like if you're engrossed in a book or a TV show or a movie, or if you're just staring out the window daydreaming and going off in your own little world, everything else sort of falls away. And then somebody comes up and they're like, hey, and they can't get your attention. Then you just like snap out of it and you're like, oh, I didn't even realize you were there. That's hypnosis. It's a naturally occurring state. And this is something we go into multiple times a day. Now, if we get into the Human Givens approach, they define hypnosis as any artificial way of accessing the REM state, the same brain state where dreaming occurs, right? And they say that this definition, when properly understood, resolves many of the mysteries and controversies surrounding hypnosis. They see the REM state as being vitally important for life itself, for programming in our instinctive knowledge initially, and then for adding to this throughout life. They attempt to explain this by asserting that, in a sense, all learning is post-hypnotic, which they say explains why the number of ways people can be put into a hypnotic state are so varied. According to them, anything that focuses a person's attention inward or outward puts them into a trance. I agree with this. I'm not going to explain it like that, but I agree, because it'll go over a lot of people's heads. But I do agree with that, for the most part. They don't, but again, they're viewing it as a processes and not a state. I do still like to say hypnosis, view it as its own state, even if we are accessing REM artificially with it. But I do think that is, important for learning. I think it's where we do a lot of processing, a lot of taking things in and integrating of things. But really anything, that reduces our peripheral awareness and then heightens suggestibility. So what is suggestibility? It's not gullibility, and that's why hypnosis isn't mind control, as is, put forward in movies and TV and stuff, and that popular, like, oh, you're now under my control. It doesn't work like that. You're not going to do anything against your will. But suggestibility is, going by definition here, The psychological process by which a person guides their own or another person's desired thoughts, feelings, and behaviors by presenting stimuli that may elicit them as reflexes instead of relying on conscious effort. So that's saying, stimuli can elicit these reactions as reflexes. And I view that as like, if we look at history, why, we have palaces, cathedrals, temples built in these huge, extravagant ways, and why there is often a message coming from there, from like these ruling classes to the common people, that they need to be open to what they're saying. And when you see, you go to any of these places that like these beautiful architectural structures, they create a sense of awe. And so if you imagine going in there and seeing that and being like, whoa, you're going to become more open to what is being told to you, more open to suggestion simply by that. So it was designed to kind of create trance. Now, like, if going by the definition, hypnosis is being a state of heightened focus and concentration, and we can achieve that by changing our emotional state. One way of doing that is, through relaxation. You're becoming relaxed, so you become more open to what's going on around you, right? But if you're angry, any sort of agitation there, any sort of emotional arousal is going to kind of put you into that place where you can be open to more suggestions, for constructive or destructive purposes. But you're there and you'll be like, oh yeah, I'm angry. I'm more open to the idea I'm going to throw a brick through the window, or I'm relaxed. Yeah, I'm more open to changing that thing about me. It's, in the end, you're going to the same place with that. If that's making sense. Now let's see, where else should I go with this? Let's go back to definitions here. The American Psychological Association, the APA, has this formal definition of hypnosis. Hypnosis typically involves an introduction to the procedure during which the subject is told that suggestions for imaginative experiences will be presented. The hypnotic induction is an extended initial suggestion for using one's imagination and may contain further elaborations of the introduction. A hypnotic procedure is used to encourage and evaluate responses to suggestions. When using hypnosis, one person, the subject, is guided by another, the hypnotist, to respond to suggestions for changes in subjective experience, alterations in perception, sensation, emotion, thought, or behavior. Persons can also learn self-hypnosis, which is the act of administering hypnotic procedures on one's own. If the subject responds to hypnotic suggestions, it is generally inferred that the hypnosis has been induced. Many believe that hypnotic responses and experiences are characteristic of a hypnotic state. While some think that it is not necessary to use the word hypnosis as part of the hypnotic induction, others view it as essential. And I mean, so now we're getting kind of into the induction part. Inductions are kind of bullshit. It is, what you really need is the setup to it, the pre-talk that you have before, establishing the hypnotic contract with the subject that yes, this is going to happen. It's expectation and imagination and focus. So the hypnotic induction being an extended initial suggestion for using one's imagination, absolutely true. But yeah, you're being told, okay, these suggestions and these imaginative experiences are going to be presented to you. This is what's going to happen. You're explaining things to the subject as a hypnotist. This is how we're going to go into trance, because they've agreed to it. Because again, you're not going to do anything against your will. You're going to be more open to that, and as you follow along and go through it, you're guided into trance. Now, is it necessary to use the word hypnosis? No. You can do conversational stuff with metaphors and get hypnosis. Working with a client, or you could just say hypnosis and get hypnosis. The more I'm saying hypnosis, you be thinking about hypnosis, and you could actually guide yourself into a trance. So there's a lot of different ways to go about it, because it is a natural state. Let's see what else we got. You have some people that think that it's simply a placebo. I mean, how do you want to define that? In a way, maybe, but there are actual changes happening. I think it's people say that because it can't be measured easily, like what we're actually changing. It's anxiety. How does that work? There's a lot that we don't know. Milton Erickson, the greatest hypnotist ever, considered the leading exponent of the position that hypnosis is a special, inner-directed, altered state of functioning. Yeah. And like I said, I do like thinking of it as its own thing, but I also agree with the Human Givens definition of it being an artificial way of accessing REM and kind of being like that series of processes. But as far as like inductions go, the big part is establishing what's going to happen with the client. That's part of the induction. Everything else is kind of is theatrical, and that's what there's so many different ways to do it to get people in. But it's what do you need to achieve that state to be opened up? Some people, if you're more analytical, a confusion thing is going to work a lot better, because you can't concentrate. Like our conscious mind only stores 7 to 9 plus or minus 2 bits of information at any given time, and it's easy to get overwhelmed. And like I was saying, if we're at a point where that we're becoming emotionally aroused, emotionally charged in some way, then we're more open to suggestion. So if we have a bunch of different things coming in, we're trying to follow along, like a confusion induction, and keep up with what's happening, we'll get confused. Confusion creates tension. Tension seeks to resolve. Always. And that's a important thing with our goals, that we have to maintain that tension. But when we're doing hypnosis work, okay, that tension is there, it wants to resolve. I'm going to go into trance now. That will resolve it. I'm going to listen to the suggestion I'm being given to go into hypnosis, and I'm going to make this confusion stop. And so that's something else. Yeah, that's I don't know. I just wanted to talk about something so I could have a live stream called MK Monday. I figure let's talk about what hypnosis is, and is it mind control? I mean, and like I said, if somebody tells you, all right, you're hypnotized, go rob a bank, you're not going to do it unless you were already planning on a thing, because it's going to go against what your own self-preservation, if nothing else. And you're going to discard that suggestion. It's going to be too outlandish for you to follow. And when we have our map of reality established in our mind, we create our comfort zones. This is where I'm happy being. This is what I know. Everything outside is scary. And everything in our mind is meant to keep us safe. There's some sort of protective mechanism to it. So if we, go out of that, the mind pushes it back against it. No, keep things the same. These same habits, these same patterns. Keep doing that. Even if it goes against what we really want to achieve. Because it's sticking with the devil because the unknown is more of a threat. So the way we actually get changes in hypnosis, where the mind control part comes in, is it's something that the client, the subject, that you want. This. You want to make this change. You've been trying to shove it into the subconscious, and it keeps popping back out. Hypnotist is going to help guide you in to hypnosis, into that state where you are more open to suggestion, not gullibility, suggestion. And then feed your suggestion, this thing that you want to change, how you would rather things be, back to you. And the subconscious recognizes that, and it's more open to it, and it knows, oh, okay, this is actually in line with our bigger goals, and it accepts it. Then the work begins, because you have to act on that. You have to make those changes last in order for it to solidify and to update the map into what reality actually is now. So, okay, if there's a fear of flying, you come in. Yeah, I'm afraid of flying. Can you take this away? Sure. Are you planning on a flight anytime soon? No. I don't. Not going anywhere. I'm just afraid of planes. If you're not taking a flight for like 2 years, yeah, right then, boom, phobia will be gone. But you haven't reinforced it. You haven't tested it. You haven't shown the subconscious that this has happened and this is no longer scary. See? And show it why. So you want to go out there and push that and establish what the new reality is. Now, the other thing, I think this is what really made me want to talk about this, was okay, our smartphones and devices and things, we're in trance so often. Anytime you pick up your phone, I think you're halfway there at least, because we've gotten so conditioned to looking at that and then everything else falling away, and we're focused on the screen and on scrolling and what grabs our attention, that sort of thing. And that, I mean, that's more of like what the traditional sort of fantasy of mind control is than working with a hypnotist. Um, because then you're getting bombarded with all sorts of things. And think about like social media, where it's like, how often do people come, oh, there's so much negativity on there. Everybody's so mean. Oh, no. I go on social media and there are mean posts and there's just negativity everywhere. Yeah. But you know what? There also is. There's also a lot of funny memes and like cute pictures of cats and dogs. Both of these things are polarizing. Something that over the last several years, I know we've all heard a lot of that term, polarizing. Social media platforms are incentivized to give us polarizing content. This is going to make me angry. This is going to make me go, aw. It doesn't care because they're two different things, but they're both on the extremes. They're bringing up the emotion. Every emotion has a feeling attached to it. It's bringing it up in the body, and it drives us to take an action. How we react to it. Share it with our friends if we like it. Comment on it if we're angry. If we're mad. It's getting us to do what we want, what it wants, what benefits it, by showing us this extreme stuff that drives us to an action. And that's before you get to that, whole a lie told a million times becomes the truth. You hear something over and over and over and over and over again, you start to believe it. And nothing is better at like driving those messages than the internet, and TV. And TV's gotten really good at that. It's the same thing over and over again. And then, one crisis one week, and then there's something else another. That's the confusion part, because then you're never given a break. You're like, oh, wow, I was just worried about this thing, and now I'm freaking out about climate change. And now, and then there's going to be something else. And you're in this state of anxiousness, of confusion, of not knowing what's coming next, what's real. You're open to suggestion. And then, bam, here come the advertisers. Drink this beer. Distract yourself. Numb yourself. Just keep watching, and we'll tell you what to do. That is mind control in a bad way. And with hypnosis, when you're working with a hypnotist, you are able to take control of that, to understand what's going on. How do you want things to be? How do you want yourself to be? And not be enslaved by these messages and these forces that are fucking with you, so they can sell you shit that you don't need, and a lot of them that you don't want, or plant ideas in your head that drives another agenda that has nothing to do with anything. But I mean, down the line, it's going to lead to some kind of sales for something. Probably everybody wants to sell something online. I mean, hey, even me. Go to EBHypno.com, schedule a free discovery call, see how I can help you change your life, help you get your anxiety under control, help you rebuild your confidence. Go follow me on TikTok at Hypnosis with Evan. Go follow me on Instagram. I'm selling something. I'm selling this. Everybody is. Sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it's for good reasons. It's something that can help you. It's something that resonates with you. It's something that helps move you from point A to finish getting to point B when you got stuck halfway there. But other times, if somebody is trying to scare you or make you angry, I mean, not going to say more like this, the scare you kind of thing, but that's what's actually going on. And so, I mean, the media, TV, it's bad with that. And again, it's not even the stuff that upsets you. It's the stuff that makes you laugh. It's the stuff that you like, because we're bouncing back and forth between extremes. And as we're doing that, in that shift, the mind opens and the suggestions come in. Here's where we sell you an ad. Here's where you go buy this. Here's where you go do that. And I think it's important for us to be aware of it. I'm not saying that there's really anything we can do about it. I mean, numbers are against everything. Social media is going to keep being social media, and this is how it functions until something else comes around. Figuring that out, that's above my pay scale, but individually, if we want to change something about our lives, if we want to let go of anxiety, if we want to let go of lack of confidence, we can use hypnosis. We can use our natural ability to go into a state of suggestibility to change that and inoculate ourselves. We're not giving ourselves immunization, but we're able to inoculate ourselves to a degree from the more harmful stuff in mass media that bombards us with different things here and there to get us to buy whatever, and we can take control of that. So yeah, well, that's all I wanted to really kind of talk about today. See if anybody's in the chat. Nope. But yeah, anyway, I hope that was helpful in some way. I hope you took something from it. And so, go check out EBHypno.com if you want change, especially with anxiety, and regain your confidence. Schedule a call with me. If you want to learn how to hit your goals better, to break free of the limiting beliefs that you've got, you can go to resolute.ebhypno.com. Check out my Resolute goal setting program. If you're a hypnotist or a coach that is watching this and you want to develop your hypnotic toolbox to help get changes for your clients, coming up September 17th, I'm doing an online kinetic shift practitioner training course. So go to training.ebhypno.com, check that out, and sign up. And again, go give me a follow on Instagram if you haven't, EBHypno. Follow me on TikTok, Hypnosis with Evan. Because, it's the attention economy. I want your attention just as much as anybody else. I'll tell you that straight up. I'll be honest about it. But I do believe it. It helps when you're working with a hypnotist. So because it's something you want. It's not being imposed on you by outside forces, usually by brute force with the repeated messaging and confusion and all that. So, yeah, this would be a lot more concise if I scripted it out. Maybe I'll do that. Make a fun scripted video. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope that was somewhat informative. And I will talk to you all later. Be seeing you.